Hello, and welcome to Bentonville West High School. We are your deans. I'm Miss Neal.
And I'm Miss Bashong.
And we're here to talk to you about the school handbook.
The student handbook answers questions regarding policies, practices, and procedures of the Bentonville School District. The information contained in the handbook is a valuable guide to both parents and students. A committee of parents, teachers, students, and administrators reviews the handbook each year to be sure appropriate information is in the handbook.
So our vision and mission, every learner future ready. So at Bentonville West, we foster a culture of innovation and engagement where all learners achieve and belong. Bentonville West High School mission is to create a positive, innovative, and engaging environment where all stakeholders contribute their unique gifts for the betterment of the school, the community, and the world. Each student and staff member will be an active participant in an ever-evolving and inclusive learning atmosphere, which creates successful lifelong learners and productive citizens.
So here's the crisis hotline. The number's here. If you see something, say something. And you're going to see this over and over again throughout the year. You'll see these out in the hallways. If you see something, say something.
All right. Deliveries. So deliveries for students for celebrations, special occasions will not be accepted on any campus in the Bentonville schools. This includes food and flowers, balloons, cookies, bouquets, singing telegrams. Wow. None of that. Your parents are not allowed to bring food for anyone else but you, their child. As students may only receive food from an adult listed on their student contact. And no, you cannot order drop-off delivery meals, so no Uber Eats, nothing like that.
Advisory and flex time. The biggest thing here is be there, and stay on task. It's not a time for travel, seeing another teacher, hanging out in the commons. We need to be in our scheduled advisory and flex time. Students are responsible for having with them at the beginning of each sixth flex period all necessary materials to be successful during that period. This includes A-day materials. Students are responsible for self-scheduling any open periods during Tuesday advisory and when they are absent. In the event the student is absent during advisory scheduling, they are able to schedule themselves while off campus.
Lunches. All high schools are closed campuses. Therefore, students may not leave campus without a dismissal in the office. Lunches are served in the cafeterias during designated lunch periods.
Student parking. To obtain a parking permit, students must present a valid Arkansas driver's license, Arkansas card tag number, make and model of the vehicle, and $20 for the school year. So that's $10 per semester. Motorcycles and scooters are $10 per year, so $5 per semester. Students are not permitted to loiter in parking areas and are not to return to their vehicles during the school day for any reason unless given permission to do so by an administrator or office staff. Driving and parking privileges on school campuses may be revoked due to any unsafe behavior.
Student absences. Medical documentation will count as excused. 4-H, armed services, and bereavement count as excused. Parent notes, you get 5 per semester, count as excused. Letters sent home on the 5th and the 10th absence. Students with 11 unexcused absences in a course in a semester shall not receive credit for that course.
Student discipline. Major infractions may result in an immediate 10-day suspension from school and or expulsion. Discipline consequences include, but not limited to, the following: detention, in-school suspension, out-of-school suspension, and expulsion.
So continuing on with student discipline, major offenses include, not limited to, the following: arson, assault, and or battery of another student, threatening, bullying, cheating, plagiarism, disrespect, extortion, fighting, fireworks, gang-related activities, electronic harassment and hazing, indecent exposure, insubordination, mob action, profane or obscene language or gestures, sexual harassment, sexual misconduct, theft, truancy, vehicle violations, violation of a statutory or constitutional regulations, and other disruptive behavior.
Prohibited conduct infractions include but not limited to the following: disrespect for school employees and failing to comply with their reasonable directions or otherwise demonstrating insubordination, possession or use of tobacco in any form, including e-cigarettes, on any property owned or leased by any public school, possession, selling, distributing, or being under the influence of an alcoholic beverage, any illegal drug, unauthorized inhalants, or the inappropriate use or sharing of prescription or over-the-counter drugs or other intoxicants or anything represented to be a drug.
So all students and staff are expected to follow the safety procedures of the school in order to help ensure a safe and secure environment. Violating safety procedures will result in disciplinary consequences. Examples include, but are not limited to, propping open locked doors, opening locked doors for people knocking, failing to follow instructions during safety drills. All visitors and students who arrive at school after it begins will need to enter and check in through the front office.
Prohibited conduct continued. So prohibited conduct infractions include, not limited to, the following: sharing, diverting, transferring, applying to others, such as needles or lancets, or in any way misusing medication or any medical supplies in their possession, engaging in behavior designed to taunt, degrade, or ridicule another person on the basis of race, ethnicity, national origin, sex, or disability. Possess, view, distribute, or electronically transmit sexually explicit or vulgar images or representations, whether electronically, on a data storage device, or in hard copy form. Students are forbidden to self-medicate at school with prescription or non-prescription medications and are forbidden to carry any medications on their person.
Bullying and cyberbullying. Bullying is any pattern of behavior by a student or a group of students that is intended to harass, intimidate, ridicule, humiliate, or instill fear in another child or group of children. Bullying behavior can be a threat of or actual physical harm, or it can be verbal abuse of the child. Bullying is a series of recurring actions committed over a period of time, directed toward one student, or successive separate actions directed against multiple students. Cyberbullying is the use of computers, websites, the internet, cell phones, text messaging, chat rooms, and an instant messaging to ridicule, harass, intimidate, humiliate, or otherwise bully another student or school employee.
Academic integrity. Specific examples of conduct that fail to achieve academic integrity include, but not limited to, the following: cheating, fabrication and falsification, plagiarism, facilitating academic misconduct, tampering with materials, grades, or records, and copyright laws. Violation of academic integrity policy 4.24 may result in discipline and potential loss of honors.
Dress code. Students, you are not allowed to wear tube tops, tube skirts, spaghetti strap tops. They have to be 2 inches wide. Tank tops, cut-off t-shirts, midriff shirts and blouses, netted shirt, muscle shirts, backless tops, cut-offs, like your pants, or ragged jeans. Shirts, hats, buttons displaying obscene or inappropriate printing or advertising of alcohol, drugs, or tobacco products, either explicit or implied. Offensive clothing and offensive writings and drawing on the body, books, and clothing. Rips, tears, or holes in the clothing must not expose skin or undergarments above the fingertip. Students will be sent home if these are violated.
Dress code continued. You're not permitted to wear head coverings, including bandanas, worn during the school day in the buildings unless for documented religious or cultural purposes. Sunglasses unless medically required. Clothing which sags. The waistband of pants, shorts, skirts, or jeans must be above the hip bones. Costuming, including theater makeup for middle school, junior high, and high school, is not permitted unless authorized by administration. Pajamas and any other sleepwear except when authorized by administration. And blankets.
No blankets. ID badges. Students are expected to have their school ID badges visible on a school-issued lanyard at all times. Again, you need to have your ID badge on you with your school-issued lanyard.
Not on your backpack.
No.
On you.
Yes. Student school ID badges will be required with hall passes. Students who fail to wear their ID properly or continually fail to bring their ID to school may face disciplinary consequences. Badges must be presented for checking in and out, checking out library materials, purchasing lunches, purchasing event tickets, some event attendance, etc. Students without a badge may be inconvenienced at the back of the line or in a slower line for students without scanning capabilities.
ID badges continued. Students on work programs or traveling to off-campus classes must be wearing badges at the time of leaving and entering the building. Lost or stolen badges must be replaced. A $5 charge will be assessed for replacement badges and will include a lanyard. A lanyard alone will be $1. If a student is missing their ID, they must obtain a replacement for $5 or a temporary ID for $1. The student ID badge is the property of Bentonville Schools. The replacement cost is for the lost badge.
New grading policies. So, students' course grades will be determined entirely by their evidence of learning of course standards. That's 100% weight. Students may also receive practice and homework grades as feedback to track their progress in this course. That means they're unweighted. This means that there are no longer assisted and unassisted assignment categories in the gradebook. All student work that impacts student course grades will be entered under the EOL category.
That's evidence of learning.
Teachers may record practice or homework as practice, but these grades do not impact the course grade.
Students will also receive feedback in Home Access Center on the achievement of learning habits at least quarterly. Learning habits assessed will be time management and engagement in learning. Students will receive marks of DC, which is demonstrates consistently. IC, that's progressing but inconsistent. And NY, not yet, rarely or not observed.
Continuing on with the grading policy, engagement in learning, the student participates with focus and purpose, asks appropriate questions, responds appropriately in discussions, seeks and responds to feedback, self-reflects, and self-advocates. Time management, the student uses time effectively, completes tasks on time, recognizes time constraints, avoids distraction, clearly communicates when time constraints or setbacks occur, and adapts to meet changed expectations. The complete handbook can be found on the website. That's bentonvillek12.org. Select the Parents tab, In the Know, and then select the handbook. Now it's time for a test. Yay! Woo! Teachers, make sure students have access to the handbook test. Students, you have to make 100% in order to be finished.